We are Hello Houston. Please look at the people that's on the stage. There will be some people in the audience. Look to your left, look to your right, and make sure you check out who you are next to. If they are someone that you're interested in doing business with, chatting with, or just networking with, go ahead and make sure you hit that follow button. We got some very important people that's a part of Hello Houston, and they need to be known for what they do. We also have HelloHoustonTexas.com, which is the actual website. We are a full organization that talk about business, lifestyle, and current events on a daily basis, Monday through Friday from 8:15. I'm sorry, from 7:15 to 8:15, and sometime we go over. Today's topic is respectful business conversations. How do we have them? So, where did this conversation basically come from? Basically, I was just thinking to myself, sometimes people be disrespectful on the questions that they ask and they don't know in business. And I think we need to have a discussion. How do you ask the right questions around the right people? And then I ask the next question after that. So anybody can tap in. Y'all know we go popcorn.
I think. Go ahead, Mister.
Real quick, what I was going to say is I believe if you have questions, the best action to take is to listen. If that person has content, go check out their content. Go through scroll through the titles to see if any of the titles resonate with your question, so that you're taking people's time seriously and you're taking their profession and their expertise seriously. I get frustrated with it when people want to say, well, what's the difference between custom whole life and whole life and term? And I answer the question all the time. But then you realize this same person's going to they ask the same question next time they talk to you. They don't actually, the people who want it do the research. People who want to know ask questions and put actions behind the answers. So that's what I found. I found if I listen, I'll know what questions to ask. But if I'm really doing the research on the people I'm dealing with, I've answered most of my questions before I've met them or before we speak. And from there. But again, listening is key to knowing what questions to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was going to say, before you probably entertain that conversation, you should probably have like narrowed down uh, the fluff from whatever it is you want to have this conversation about, uh, and and from there, uh, just sort of kind of get straight to the point. You know what I mean? Instead of beating around the bush for 10, 15 minutes. Let's just get on with it. Uh, Respectfully, of course. But yeah, that's essentially about all I had on that for now.
All right. So Mr. Brown said, listen. Tony said, get to the point. Do y'all really think the person that y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you
Hello?
now. You was breaking up a little bit, but you
Okay.
good now.
Yeah, my bad. I actually put my earpod in. Do y'all really feel that people who are the people that you ask those questions to, if you so direct and you so you basically listen to half of what you said, what they were saying, do you think they will take it respectfully, or do you think they'll take it disrespectfully if you don't know them?
You know what? I was just coming to mind too when you were saying that. You got to you got to ask for the conversation too. You got to ask for that person's time. You know what I mean? You got to make sure it's going to be okay with them before you just dive in and bombard them or blindside them with a conversation. Also,
I like that. I like that response a lot.
I do like that a lot. Um, and I think it's like what you said it yesterday, Andy. Like when you're off, you're off. Like you have set terms to when you're working because of the type of work you do. Like people will drag you thinking that you're available at 12:30 at night just because they're up having inspiration. Now they'll disturb your peace. And you know, I don't deal with that so much because clearly it's life insurance. But I have people that wait till 8:01 to ring my phone. They're waiting literally until the open of business to ring my phone, and they'll call 5 minutes before the close of the evening. But asking for the conversation, but also asking when can we have the conversation. I believe is a good question also, far as because I may be in some kind of way right now moving, but if you ask me then, I'll say, hey, text me and I'll get you on my calendar, or go to this link and get on my calendar, versus me just brushing you off or you feeling like I'm disregarding you.
I'm definitely that person, and I am definitely that person. If the right person refer you to me, I make time. But if you just willy nilly, hey, what's up? Can you call me? No, I can't. I can't. And I'm very strict on that. If I haven't been talking to you, doing business with you, I know that you really trying to do something, I can't talk to you. I would literally, I don't care if I got a free schedule, I will tell you I'm busy out of respect.
I was actually just going to say that I do agree with Tony and Mr. Brown. Listening is always key. Um, but learning how to even start that business conversation with the right question is key as well. So most definitely do the research on the What are you doing? Oh, sorry. This motherfucker in front of me. I'm sorry, y'all. Ooh, I forgot we were recording. He she literally brake checked me for no reason. Anyway, but yeah, so what I'm saying is that listening is key. Learning how to start that conversation is most definitely key. Research the people that you want to even have these conversations with. That way you can almost know what you're talking about, um, try to relate in some form or fashion. um, yeah, hold on, that's all I have for right now.
Good morning, y'all. I'll go ahead and tap in real quick. Just to piggyback what Mr. Brown and also Tony said about research, coming from a podcast point of view, that's what I do. I do research to make sure we ask the right, appropriate questions, because you don't want to offend them on any type of question that you ask them. So I, like I said before, listening and doing the research, going to their profiles, going to their Instagram page or their Facebook page, just to make sure we ask the right questions. And so
So I guess my question to y'all saying doing research on people so you know what to say in a realm of what their profession is and asking the right question, but what research are you really looking for? Let's tap
Yeah,
into
I would say, whatever it is you want to have the conversation about, research that. I don't, other than that, it's just a matter of are you going to or seeking advice or input from the right person, uh, more so than doing a background check on that person himself. You know what I mean, or him or her or whatever. So I would say, just do your due diligence with whatever the topic of conversation going to be, uh, and from there. Figure out who it is you want input, advice, coaching, or mentorship from, and go from there. That's.
I
but
had
I don't
oh, sorry. I had an engineering teacher, instructor, and he used to always say, if you did the homework, you know the answer. And some people think that's a quirky answer, but he was real strict on. He only taught what was in the homework, and I think that resonates in business, like what Tico says. If you're doing the homework, the questions you have are extraordinary. They're out of what's presented or what's available for public consumption, and it intrigues people. That's how you get to garner people's and what I have done in the past. That's how you garner that special attention when you're asking those questions that they actually want to answer. They're happy to answer, not that questions they've been answering for 20 years. Like they've answered that question every time they've had an interview for 20 years, and here you go with the same answer or the same question. So yeah, definitely, if you've done your homework, you know what questions to ask, and your questions are going to be extraordinary, not just stuff that you can Google and get a one sentence answer for.
but in that case you might as well just book a consultation, right?
I
Exactly.
believe people who are serious do. But think about that. People who are intent on something have delved into. When I got into life insurance, I already knew a bunch about it already. Like they pretty much hired me in the car when they met me, because by the time I made it to their office, every test was aced and all the information I needed to actually sell the product, I knew. I didn't know how. I didn't know their techniques. I didn't know the methodology behind their business, but I did know the basis of life insurance and what I was getting into with the particular company. So, that's my personal. Not everybody's like that. Some people are used to the public school system form of educating, where it's you can't get help from your peers, but if you get it wrong, you get a grade versus getting the right answer. It's like, yo, how about you give me the right answer so we're not getting this wrong consistently?
Well, I feel like there's not just one right answer. So in business, when you're having conversations, I guess researching actually helps, keep those conversations going, um, keeps them interesting. Research also, just because you research something doesn't mean that it's always the right answer. So it can also give you clarity, when you have those conversations. And so when you do the research, you know what questions to ask, and you can get other perspectives on those questions that you.
All right, well, let's reset the room real quick. Oh wait, no, we're not. It's not even time to reset the room. But good morning, good morning, good morning. So today's topic is respectful business conversations. How do we have them? And so far what the feedback has been is, you know, listen to the conversation that individuals are having so you know how to ask the right question, as well as do your research on the people, so you can continue the conversation. And additional to that is if you already did your research, you already been listening, and you already know what conversations you want to have, just book a consultation. But I think it's deeper than what we're saying. I think we're just saying the general stuff that a lot of people say, well, yeah, you're right, I should just book a conversation. I just book a consultation. But I want to pose another question. If you book the consultation and find out that this person give you the answer in the first 2 minutes, what happened with the remaining minutes?
I can jump in on it. Oh, you can go.
No, go right ahead.
So, the people saying research, right? We're in the trucking industry. It's so much wrong information out there. A lot of people do have a lot of questions because they get information from multiple places and they don't know. So, if I answered your question in the first 2 minutes and you have no more questions. So when you schedule a consultation, you need to know why you're scheduling this consultation. What do you want the end results of the conversation to be? Okay, at the end of the conversation, if I talk with and at the end of the conversation, I need to know I need to know somewhat how to structure a wealth plan, right? I need to know the foundations and the basics. That was the whole purpose of the conversation, just for this conversation's sake. Make sure you know what your end result gonna be. And if that person is well versed in it and they can answer you in 2 minutes, you already know that they're capable of helping you along. So that means, and after you do the consultation, you follow them on social media. If their free information, their free content can help you get and move you along, their paid content is going to be worth it. Their paid services is going to be worth whatever it is. And then you go ahead and make that investment. Or like I said, trust your gut and make your investment, because where you're researching and doing all this, that's all fine and good. But for the sake of time, you're wasting time when you know, like, hey, this person already do this. I seen the social proof. I seen these people that this person helped. So why not go to that person?
That's facts. I will definitely say to y'all in 2022, y'all been asking me, Andy, why you don't post testimonials? Why you don't show this part of you or that part of you? Personally, I mean, my testimony is, what do you need? What do you want to know? Here you go. So do you want to hear everybody else's story, or do you want to hear your own personal story? Right? But I'm cool with it. I'm gonna go ahead and start posting on a different page. Like, here's about this part of Andy, right? So with CRM, I am gonna start putting stuff on that page. I purposely archived everything that was on that page because people would literally go look at the tips and come back and ask me those same questions. And I would gladly go on my Instagram. I would share that post into their text message and say, here's your answer. And at one point, I was told by a teammate, dude, that's kind of rude. And I'm like, no, it's not. Because at this point, I feel like you just want to get on the phone and say you were talking to Andy, and now I feel like you wasted my time, right? So social proof is very important in any business, no matter if you're selling a product or a service. That's how you honestly grow your business. But at the same time, you got to continue to keep it updated too. So I'm gonna add on what Cece is saying about having a foundation of the questions that you want and making sure that everything flow together once the conversation is over. You have a roadmap of what you asked for, what the plan was, how it was executed, and what you should do next, right? But me, the way I vet people that's coming into the consultation or coming into booking an appointment, if you ever book the appointment with me, you know it's questions on there that ask you, what are the three things that you want? What are the three challenges that you're having right now? How do you think our company can help you? When do you want to get ready to start? And the reason why I ask those questions, because now I know what the conversation should be based around. If you go outside of those questions, at this point, you need more than what you're asking me for, or you confused on what you really want. So they give me the chance to say, okay, this person may be here after this conversation. They may need to start from scratch. Or this person is all the way elevated and what they need is just to tweak what they already have and make it better than what it is. So that's what I would say with that. Johnny,
Let's
you was giving
reset the
us.
room right quick. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Hello Houston here on Clubhouse. We go live weekdays, 7:15, 8:15. Some days we go over. If you aren't following the club here on Clubhouse, tap that little house to the top left. Follow us here on Clubhouse. There's a banner on the top of the screen for Hello Houston, Texas, the organization. So yeah, tap that banner. Check out what's going on, what we've done, current events, upcoming events, membership, application, and so on and so forth. There. Let's see. We've got the division board party coming up next Saturday, right? The 11th. So you have to go to just ask Andy on Instagram or
Or you could just go to
.com or
the website,
yeah, go to the website. Yeah, just ask Andy, right? Just ask Andy.com.
lip,
AndyTebow.com.
Okay,
and the
AndyTebow.com. Yeah, go to AndyTebow.com for the vision board tickets for this vision board party coming up on the 11th of December at the Focus Business Conference coming up in March of 2022. And yeah, so without that being said, this morning we are talking about respectful business conversations. How do we have them? So let's dive back in, and we'll give you that weather report on the next break. There, come on. I'm back.
Just to piggyback off, go ahead, Andy.
No, I was gonna go to Joni. She was trying to say something earlier, but go ahead, Joni. Then we'll go to UCC.
Oh, girl, I forgot what I was going to say because I just left the shop. I forgot. I'll think about it.
Cool beans. Let's go, CC.
So when you were saying that those people were asking you the same questions that you had in your free content, right? That means those people are not your clients. Some people are going to ask you questions just for the sake of seeing is you gonna answer. So you have to know like who are you serving and why are you serving that group of people. If you don't know who your audience is, you don't know who your tribe is, you're going to entertain a lot of people that's going to waste your time. I know that a lot of people, even me, I want to help everybody do everything, but because I'm multifaceted, but you can't help everybody all the time. Some people just want to ask a million questions just for the sake of asking a question to see if you're going to give them the same answer as somebody else, or they'll use you to validate somebody else's information that they saw more value in than you. If you saw value in that person, and it means that much that you're going to go and ask another business, that's the person you should be talking to get clarity on certain things. Certain people will um go to certain people for clarity when they already know who they want to work with.
Big fact.
That
Uh, I deal with that a lot, actually, in life insurance. And I'm gonna tell you one of the things that ran me off of Clubhouse in the beginning, and like I want to say beginning would be February. Um, I was getting more calls from agents acting like clients so they can apprehend my language, if you will. So it's something that we're in. They teach scripts in our industry. And so, depending on the script you're using, the people you're talking to, you're almost, the percentage of a opportunity you have to make a sale. Whereas me personally, when I went in there, or as I go in, I kind of just stopped using all their scripts and created my own. Created my own, my elevator talk, my presentation, all of it's original and unique to me. And I'm cool with that. Well, most of it's original and unique to me. Let me say it like that. Can't say, oh, no 100% in anything. But they were wasting serious time. Like they'll get on your calendar and they'll book, and you'll say, well, look, I'm understanding now that you may be an agent already. Are you interested in coming get an education on how to be a career agent or how to level up your career? And no, they won't respond. They don't, it's like they don't understand that the training and the movement that I'm making is related to a bigger goal. And versus competing with me, I would rather bring them under the umbrella. I'd rather bring them into the fold of learning how to communicate finances, tie people a little differently when you're looking at certain contracts. But they're so caught up on competition. So again, I've learned that the people who come in who've done their research, they know that the basic answers, and they'll ask those general questions just to test you, to touch the water with you. But for the most part, when they're actually in the mindset to purchase already, they don't want to waste time with preliminary. They don't too much want to waste too much time asking elementary questions. They want to get to the expertise of it, and I just had to weed that out. You had to figure out, you start off what they do. Quite often they lie about their profession. Like they wouldn't tell me they're insurance agents. They'll say, "Oh, I'm a banker. Oh, I consult or I have a coaching," and it's cool. But again, if they only knew the true aspiration was to combine our efforts, I can't sign everybody up. I can't work in every region. But definitely, if we start speaking the same honest language about the product, it's easier to make the sales or to make the growth that's needed in the industry.
But
That's what I
I
have.
will I will tell you, Miss Brown though, so right? You want them to come to you, like for real. I love when people come to me and, oh, Andy, you really don't know how much you inspire me and everything else when it comes to credit. I started doing this with credit, and now I went and got my house 10 years ago. And like, what? And I'm like, okay. So what are you gonna do after? Since I already told you the basis of credit, what are you gonna do next? And then you got some people who are in MLMs, and they will call me, and I will tell them, hey, I've been doing this since 2009. I'm still a student myself. So this is what we're gonna do, because I see the angle that you're going in. Because it's really all it is wordplay, Mr. Brown. If you know for sure it's an agent, if you know for sure someone trying to steal your stuff, you got to know how to change your language up, and you got to let them know, hey, it's a really, we in a sale based business, and in a sale based business, if you really want to close your next deal, this is how you do it, and you give it to them. Cause at the end of the day, I mean, your blueprint is your blueprint. Can't everybody can take it, they can tweak it, but your blueprint is your blueprint. If they steal what you got, that's cool. Cause that's you, that's your blessing, that's your harvest season. But also understand, people that steal, a thief always get caught. So don't look at it like that as a negative thing. Look at it as a positive thing. And yeah, they don't want to collab with you. That's fine. You
But
go
that's
collab with their
crafted.
broker.
Think about it like this. Like we in the industry, they don't even realize most things are published and licensed through a lot of these companies. So these companies name their products and sell their products as proprietary intellectual property. So like the language I'm crafting is because I know once I get to a certain level, not even too long from now, I can present these and get it licensed and published and get paid for presenting this new language that's
So
acceptable
why you
and that
so
meets the
why you
guidelines.
so
So
why you haven't did it already if you know for sure
no,
that
I'm
you
in the
already getting
process.
the agent to do it? Oh,
I'm in
okay.
that process. That's what I'm
Listen,
saying. I
you
can't do
know
it out the
me.
gate.
Let's
I
go. You
know. I
know.
already know you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Let's
You
go.
can't.
What you
You don't
waiting
And
let me
on?
do it
yeah,
out the
we
gate.
know you.
They tell
We
you to
know you.
craft
We
it.
know you.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
you craft it, you test it. If you're able to produce certain amounts of sales off of it, then they're willing to present it, right? And so, and that's where I'm at with the process. But when you explain that to somebody who got into this for money, who just hard up for clients, they don't even see the big picture. They don't see the value in owning the insurance language that's being used by these different
yeah, but it's
corporations.
not
Like there's a check that comes with that.
when that
So what
happens.
you do
It's
with
not
that? You cut them off.
exactly,
Cut them off at the beginning.
exactly.
You ain't what you why you waiting? Why you wasting your time to have that conversation when you know what the deal is? I think that's what's wrong with business owners as well. You know what's going. You know what time it is. You ain't new to this. Cut the conversation. Hey, this was great, but I think we need to do more, and more is pertaining to this. Would you like to move forward?
Now
You
everybody
see,
gets put on
you
the
beat me
clock.
to it,
Like I
Andy.
put a timer on when I enter into conversations, and depending on how the conversation curves, we're gonna adhere to
Uh huh.
that timer. Most times we adhere to the timer because my schedule's tight. But
Yeah.
often, you use that timer to remind you to get out of this conversation. Basically, like I set alarms that go off throughout the day to save me from conversations and meetings. But
I mean, you
that's
just have to
just a
learn how
personal
to
tip.
basically just cut off the conversation, period. No alarms, no nothing, because there
No,
are
we
people
stay
that just like to
cordial.
hear. Listen, listen, listen. There are people out there that just love to hear themselves talk, so they're just going to keep talking and talking and talking. So you're going to have to cut them off. That's point blank. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
Cut them off because
And
they
let's
just want to
reset
hear
the room
themselves
right
talk,
quick.
and it's always an I, and me. You know what I mean? You got to.
Yeah. Thank you, Joni. Hey, y'all. Good morning. Welcome to Hello Houston. This is about to get real good. I just got this funky feeling. It's about to get real good in here. So look, welcome to Hello Houston. We go live weekdays 7:15 to 8:15. Sometimes we go over. This morning, what we're talking about is respectful business conversations. How do you have them? When do you maybe cut some off? For how long do you have them? And so on and so forth. We'll be right back. Look how banner at the top of the screen. Banner at the top of the screen AndyTebow.com. Look, you go there for the vision board tickets, limited seating, virtual seats also available. But yeah, that's happening on December the 11th. Uh, Join us here on Clubhouse. Tap that little house to the top left. Follow us here on the club. We got HelloHoustonTexas.com. Uh, Business, community, volunteering, networking, all the same things that we talk about here on Clubhouse. We put in action with HelloHoustonTexas.com. That being said, uh, any demise or anybody in the room, feel free to follow anybody that says or comments or resonates with you, or just strikes a nerve in you. Just go ahead and tap that follow button, give them a follow. Uh, if you're in the room, in the audience, wherever you may be, you guys want to come up on stage, hey, we welcome your opinion, your thoughts, your input. So feel free to raise your hand. We'll get you up and get you in the queue. Okay. Uh, Other than that, brief weather report. My sounder deal ain't working yet, but here we go, y'all. And I'm on the move, so here we go. And Tony, how's the weather? How's the weather today? Well, about the weather where I am, it's about 55, 56. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to warm up really nicely. Lots of sunshine, blue skies, and yeah, you should get out and enjoy it. Okay. Thanks, Bob. We'll be right back. All right, y'all. That's it for today. My buffoonery. You got to lighten the room up from time to time. Hope y'all got a little joy, happiness out of that, or a smile or something. But yeah, let's get back into it. Serious business.
I got
Respectful
your
business
intro
conversations.
tomorrow,
How do you
dog.
have them? Let's get it.
Yeah, that's like the funniest thing when he got dealing with the report. All right, let's get some more people tapped in this conversation. Whitney, Mike, what's up? What's up? Hugo, Chris, Rhonda, you need to be at my office. Sorry, y'all.
Hey y'all, good morning. I love the weather report. Unfortunately for Virginia, it is absolutely incorrect because it's going to be cold. It's going to be very, very cold. Our high is like 50 on a warm day here. But it's fine. I'm not going to complain. It's just fine. It's fine. Um, okay. So here's what I want to say about this. All right. And I've been on Clubhouse for, a year and some change, and I really haven't like seen a lot of, because when I think about this, I immediately think about like Clubhouse, in the context of Clubhouse, people having respectful business conversations here, because there's a lot of that happening, right? Um, and one thing I've noticed that I do not like, right, major turnoff, I think it's just super unattractive, is there was a particular room, or I don't even know if it was a room. It's just a vibe that I get when it comes around specific business conversations. And I don't know if it was just like maybe the industry, like maybe it's because it was a coach or consultant or a strategist of some sort. But what I don't like is when somebody, the authority in the room, and I'm using bunny ears, right, makes very sort of condescending or disrespectful commentary to the people there, and kind of use the shame tactics. We see that a lot in coaching, and also consulting, but the shame tactics and things that I just feel like are not only disrespectful but unnecessary. And I think that you can, as a business leader, as a thought leader, as whatever you call yourself, right? The go to person, we have to be able to have respectful business conversations with potential people without making them feel like trash, without making them feel like they're not smart, they're not making the right decisions, and basically not guilt them, but sort of manipulate, I think is the right word, manipulate them to work with you, making it seem like you're the only one, or what you have is superior. I mean, I guess I get it to a degree, right? I'm the best, whatever, whatever. But there's a line, and I think when you cross that line, it makes you look problematic, and it's definitely a turn off, because it ends up being really pushy. And so I don't know, I immediately thought, when I think of respectful business conversations, I immediately thought of that particular situation that I was in, and I kept seeing it over and over again. And what's wild to me is that the tactic kind of works, right? People want help, and they need help, and they want transformation, and they really just need someone to tell them to like get off their ass and do something sometimes, especially in the coaching and the consulting world. But it's just, for me, it just doesn't end up giving you what you think it's going to give. And it just gives me such a bad vibe, and I don't know. I don't like it. So I just wanted to add that, when you're in rooms, if you are in rooms, if you're in need of a coach or any kind of professional support, I just really recommend trying to stay around people who are respectful about where you are, and respectful about where you're trying to go, and keeping that in mind when you're doing business. And also when you're leading folks, that we don't have to shame, we don't have to manipulate, we don't have to make people feel some type of way. We don't have to make people think that what they've been doing this whole time is a complete waste of time. We don't have to make people feel some type of way about the folks that they've already hired. And you know what I mean? Yeah, we can keep it respectful. We can keep it 100 and keep it respectful all at the same time.
Yeah, but like
Okay.
you said, Whitney, some people respond, you know, I guess well, doing it to an audience is one thing, right? But somebody in that audience likely responds to how that person said whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's like coaching a basketball, football, whatever, whatever. I've had so many coaches. Everybody's coaching style is different, but but every coach sort of does things his own way, and it's sort of kind of poking just to see how who reacts differently to whatever the style is he chooses to use that day or in that moment or whatever, right? So, but yeah, I can agree but disagree. It's I feel you. I feel you though.
I'm with you, Tony. I'm the kind of person, to your point, I like a little bit more push, a little bit more aggression. I always equate it to the personal fitness trainer groups. I do not want the personal fitness trainer who's gonna coddle me and listen to me when I start whining, because we all know at some point I probably will. I need the aggressive, like in your face, get up, you need to get moving kind of coach. Like that's just me. And that's just, yeah, that's how I roll. So that I totally get what you're saying, but I think there's a difference between being assertive and motivating, and maybe even a little aggressive, and being disrespectful. There is a difference. You can motivate me aggressively or emphatically without disrespecting my intelligence, without disrespecting my past, without disrespecting anything about me. And you could also look at it as dating, right? There's always going to be that one slime bag. And he still converts, right? We see it happen all the time. There's that one guy, he's like hella douchey. He is absolutely not respectful to women ever, right? Except maybe his mom. But yet and still he's still getting girls. Like it's still converting for him. That doesn't negate the fact that it's disrespectful and douchey and unnecessary, right? Because he could absolutely still get girls if he took the approach of being respectful and, put his own little spin on his personality. So I just think there's a difference and there's a line between that.
I absolutely agree with you, Whitney. And we probably were in the same room, but I was in one of these business credit wealth rooms, and it's one of the ones that have like all those heavy hitters. One particularly is a guy from Houston, but that's in there as well. But I went in there, and a guy from another state came on stage, and he was just like, it was just a whole bunch of nonsense and mess going on the stage. And he was like, so what is your credit score? And he was like, well, I'm working on it. It's like a 635. He's like, oh, no, 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 you can't even talk to me. I'm gonna pass you down to somebody else. Yeah, don't even talk to me with that credit score. And just the way he said it, I was like, oh my God, did he just tell this potential customer that is crazy. So it is on the delivery, and it's about being respectful to that person, because a lot of times people do not know.
So I had that happen to me in the beginning of Clubhouse. I was that person Whitney was talking about, because I knew somebody else sent you. So I was like this. I'm really straightforward. I'm really stern and whatever. I'm saying, if I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you, right? If you coming to me for help, well, somebody told me this. Okay, well, if somebody telling you this, you need to go back to that somebody, because in, like you said, in those business credit, in those credit repair rooms, these people don't know about credit for real. They really don't, because they will have you doing the stupidest crap in America, like. But then they have to show that, hey, that they're the authority, because guess what? The loudest person in the room, not always the smartest person in the room. Because that, you talking about a 635, you can get funding and you can build business credit with a 635 without PG. But they're not going to tell you, because with what's going to make them money is you PGing, and you paying them a percentage of what you got approved for, because your personal credit PG. So they know nothing about asset protection. So yeah, they have to fight for that presence and that thing about being having a 635, and somebody else who know, they just told them a whole nother client. And so sometimes when you go in those rooms like that, you can fish for clients. You know that that client, they don't want to help, and you know you can help them, back channel them and say, hey, I know what he said, I can't help you, sign up for a consultation, because he throwing you to somebody else because he don't have the capacity, or he don't want to work with it, or he don't know, or that's outside some working with somebody with their credit score is not in their zone of genius.
Yeah, I still think it's about delivery, though. We have to make sure when we speak to people, we're doing it. You don't have to be, I guess, super nice and compassionate, but I do think you at least need to communicate in a way that comes off respectfully. Because I think it ends up, people are watching. People are watching. Somebody was talking about this the other day. You never know who's watching. Even Andy said it earlier. She has people who are messaging her, giving her kudos and stuff. And, these may or may not have been people that have paid her, but they're watching her. People are watching. And if this person is being disrespectful to the 635 person, I really just don't see them being that much more respectful to somebody who's maybe got 100 points higher, because typically how we treat people is consistent, and there tends to be particles of how we treat one person as how we treat another. So if you're rude to homegirl or so and so, I see you being rude to somebody else too. And it may not be because of your score, it may be because you relate, it may be because this. I just see it as, I don't want to say it's a personality flaw. I don't know what it is, but it's a choice, right? Because we can choose. Our parents, most of our caregivers, our teachers, whomever was raising us, taught us to treat people respectfully. And a lot of us get cocky and think that we don't have to because we've reached a certain point. I don't care what point you've reached. I don't care how much money you're making per month. I don't care who you've worked with and who you've done rooms with on Clubhouse, who are verified on blah, 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 blah. I don't care. If you can't treat me as a good person, we don't need to do business on any level. And I'm 1000% not giving you a referral. I'm not giving a referral. So for me, it's how you treat one person tends to be how you treat other people. It's just the packages that you're going to give it in.
Cool,
All
cool,
right, go
cool.
ahead,
Okay,
Tony.
y'all. Let's reset the room one more time and we'll shuffle through the deck. Okay. So good morning, y'all. Welcome to Hello Houston here on Clubhouse. We go live weekdays 7:15 to 8:15, and a lot of times we go over. So first and foremost here, if you aren't following us here on Clubhouse, tap that little house up there, follow the room, join the room here on Clubhouse. There's a banner at the top of the screen for HelloHoustonTexas.com. You can go there for current events, upcoming events, past events, membership applications, um, all that stuff, good stuff. You can go to AndyTebow.com. The Vision Board Party is coming up on the 11th of December. Uh, in person and virtual tickets available. Uh, what else here? But yeah, so look, if it's your first time in the room here with us, you're more than welcome to come up on stage here. And join us or join the party here. We love to have your input, your thoughts, your opinions. It's a, like I say, it's more than welcome. Always welcome here. Uh, with that being said, here y'all in Clubhouse, we usually discuss all things business, lifestyle, current events. If you have a topic you'd like us to discuss, just send us a message through the back channel, and we'd be more than happy to get it on for you. Uh, so with that being said, let's dive back in and go ahead and take it away. Where were we at there? Anybody in
Whitney.
there, Johnny? You know?
So here's the deal. Let's kind of okay. So before I say what I'm gonna say, guys, thank y'all for being a part of Hello Houston this this morning. This conversation is good. You hear me? I'm glad we're having this conversation right now because we're going into the new year, right? And we got to decide. We have to decide what is it that we want when it comes to business relationship, the communication, where we want to position ourselves. And I think we all need to hear both sides of the story as the actual owner, as the actual customer or client, right? What do we choose? What do we want to choose to do, and how do we elevate from there? So we had individuals that basically talked about do your research, listen more. We had individuals that say when you do that research, see what other things they're doing so you can keep the conversation going. We had individuals that said, hey, watch your tone when you're speaking to someone because you can come off as rude or negative, right? When you do your delivery. But what I would like to say is also, um, I ain't gonna lie, I know some really, really, really good business owners that don't even want people to know what type of business or what shift they are in business. They just want to be in the presence. And I can tell you, they some real a-holes. And they'll tell you, look, I ain't got time for all that extra fluff. I don't want to be all in the emotions and I gotta cater you. I gotta hold your hand, baby. It's gonna be okay, right? And a lot of people will say they are rude. They don't want to talk to nobody. Prime example when it comes to celebrities. A lot of people will meet some celebrities. Some will be open. Hey, how you doing? Some will be like, nah, right now I don't feel like talking. But it's honestly the access to the person and what is going on when you guys approach them or when you guys listen to them or what's going on in a situation. And I have been around some mentors that'll tell you you got to weed the people out, period. So if it takes you to show people that you don't want no BS when they come to you, you have to give them that delivery. So when they get on the phone, they not, hey, how you doing? How your kids doing? All right, your mama still gonna have that surgery? All right, well, how you feeling? How business going? Oh man, business not going too well, right? You want to go down this whole family reunion thing when really and truly you only got one question. So let's just get to the question. And some mentors that's really higher up, they'll tell you that, yeah, check on me, not in the conversation of talking about business. Check on me when it's free, when it's I'm just saying hello, not when okay, now we ask all these questions in the first 5 minutes because it become long winded sometimes. Ask me that business question during that business time, if that make any sense. So let's keep going. Hugo, Chris, Rhonda, who else on here? Jada. Hey
Natalie,
Miss
Charles,
Taylor, Charles, George, yeah, yeah, all y'all. What's up? And I know y'all got something to say.
Hey there, Andy. Good morning. How are you?
Hey
This is Joyce.
Joyce.
Hey there. I was on a call this morning. But I saw your topics. I was hoping that you guys would still be here when I was done because I was looking. I saw it, and I'm like, well, how could we not have respectful business conversations? One thing as of late, I've been working with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I would hear you guys talk about their delivery of their content, delivery of their conversations, even their delivery here on Clubhouse when they're speaking and talking to other individuals. And I think a lot of times what share with some entrepreneurs, because some people go right out of the box to entrepreneurship, right? We don't go into corporate jobs or different things, which is to be, honored and bravo and what have you. Also, but with that said, sometimes there's a gap in that level of how you communicate in business and corporate and training that you have in organizations. And a lot of people don't take the time to really invest in themselves in training and development. And I recommend that entrepreneurs really take that time because that emotional intelligence and that communications, that skills that they need to learn, um, we really have to invest in ourselves and study that piece as entrepreneurs and business owners and really train ourselves to be able to have those tough conversations. But as I always say, preparation trumps everything because a lot of times when I find when people are getting a little rude or testy, it's because they're not prepared for the questioning and they are not really, really skilled in selling their business product or service. And so then there's more of a defensiveness because they're not prepared through basically lack of training and stuff and investing in themselves to get the training that they need to have those strong conversations. And then when they get uncomfortable, then their guards fly up. And so I'm not, I hate I missed all the other conversation, but I found that personally, but right now working with a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners, and so I just say to everyone, make sure you're prepared and that you invest in yourself for whatever training you need. And be honest with yourself about what that is. I'm done speaking.
I can absolutely agree with that because there's a level of comfort you've got to have, uh, or you may have butterflies in your stomach before you even approach or that person to even speak with them or whatever, right? So yeah, no doubt about that. So I guess I don't know. So how do you build up that level of confidence then? Is it just practice you do? Is there some sort of practice you can do to build up that level of confidence to even approach or ask the questions or have that conversation with whoever it is you need to have that conversation? You want to have that conversation with though.
Yes, and again, as I say, preparation is key. Preparation trumps confidence because when you're prepared, I share with people a lot of times, even when I'm talking about the sales process. When I'm on a sales call, and I've been selling for 25 years, I write notes for myself on things that uh, objections that I think that they may have, just from having this conversation. When you're in your business, you get pretty much get the same objection a lot. There's gonna only be one or two that may surprise you. But if you're prepared and you've written out a little elevator pitch for yourself to overcome that objection, then that's no longer an issue that you're going to get uncomfortable about. Because when you get uncomfortable, then that has your customer lose confidence in whether you can deliver. And so just being prepared, taking notes, having your notes is okay. I'm a closer and I will write on my pad, close it, right? Just to make sure that the conversation doesn't take off somewhere and the person's gone. So I'm always closing throughout the conversation. So I think it's just being prepared. I mean, and because you know what you know, and if you built something, you know what it is and you know what you have. So be prepared to overcome those objections. Already have your response for it, and then follow it up with a question, and follow it up with, Mr. and Mrs. Customer XYZ. Did I answer your question? You know, is that acceptable? Does that allow you? How would you like to move forward? once you've overcome that objection, and just keep taking them to the close. But if you're prepared and you've written it out, and and I know it sounds old school, if you've said it to yourself in a mirror, if you said it to yourself out loud, and you've practiced being comfortable having those conversations, then you're prepared and you're not going to be thrown off guard when those conversations get to that level. So preparation.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about prep, Joyce. I think you should prep people while you're speaking to them freely. You should prep individuals when they actually book your appointment. You should prep people after the appointment as well. And it is I want to say respectfully, individuals should fully understand, even if you go to someone that you know they have all the skills and they can answer everything that you're doing, and even if they moving forward, they don't give you, how I want to say it, even though after you finish with them you expect more from them. You have to understand business owners are human too. People drop the ball. You cannot hold people at certain calibers that you can't hold yourself. So, as business owners and as clients and customers, we have to understand too. You may ask for whatever it is in the world, that person can give you the answer, but also respectfully, you need to understand too. Sometimes everybody is not on a note. Prime example, I know a lot of you individuals are asking with Hello Houston, why we haven't had this, why we haven't had that, where is this event? Y'all said we was gonna do this, we was gonna do that. Okay, how have you contributed to Hello Houston? Have you spoke to someone else about Hello Houston? Have you shared a post from Hello Houston? Don't expect something to grow if you're not allowing it to grow and to make bumps and humps to get to where the end goal is, right? It's a lot of individuals who want to be a part of stuff at the beginning of anybody career, right? Whether they doing credit, well, no matter what industry it is, no matter what service it is, no matter what product it is, people want to be there when it's at the beginning. They miss the middle, but then at the end result, they want to say, I want to be a part of it. And I say that to say that's where those business conversations come in. You, as a business owner, you got to be prepared for someone that's going to come and try to bash you. You got to be prepared for when you drop the ball that you actually stand in your stuff. You stand there and you say, hey, I dropped the ball, I do apologize, how can I make this right? A lot of business owners, a lot of customers, a lot of clients don't want to stand in their own stuff when they drop the ball. A lot of individuals, a lot of business owners, a lot of clients, a lot of customers want to point the finger when someone else didn't do something. But when that person now open up the floodgates of heaven to you, you want to scale back like, well, you know what? Because you did this, this is this. Like, we got to start owning what we say we want. We have to start being prepared for what comes next. And even if you pay for a service from someone, pay for a product from someone, and you did not get what you thought you was going to get, it's not time for you to point fingers. It's time for you to understand, okay, this was a lesson in business. So now when I prepare my business or prepare whatever I'm getting ready to do, I don't have the same mistake. Period. I don't know who needs to hear that, but I just felt that in my heart.
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
came out.
And that comes with communication too, right? That preparation. You prepare to communicate. I've told customers throughout the years, I'm going to tell you the truth, good, bad, or ugly. Good, bad, or ugly. So when we get ahead of it, we own it, we take accountability for it, and we communicate to those people. Because a lot of times when people drop the ball, they want to go into hiding. That's not the time to go into hiding. That's the time to get really proactive and to really begin to, communicate, and let people know what's going on so that you can keep the engagement with that customer. Because when you're right, Andy, when we put ourselves out on places like Clubhouse, just the basic internet, you open yourself up to be right, whether it's true, whether it's good or bad. You open yourself up to be judged by others. You have some people that's going to be peas about whatever. But if you are communicating, you drop the ball, take accountability. Excuse me, take accountability. When you drop the ball and you communicate, you still can have a respectful conversation with that person, and they are going to appreciate the communication.
Big facts. All right, y'all. So looking at the time, it is 8:17. Um, we want to respect everybody that I fully understand. Some of us at work, some of us just listen, some of us, we just here. But I appreciate y'all presence being in Hello Houston Clubhouse this morning. You could have been anywhere else, but you over here rocking with Hello Houston, Texas this morning. If you don't mind, we're on Google. Yep, we're on Google. Do me a favor, go to Hello Houston organization. Go to your Google search, go to Hello Houston organization. We should be the first tab that actually pops up. You will see where it's a review tab at the top. Please do me a huge favor and go ahead and leave a review about Hello Houston. If you experience anything within it, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, that's fine. I'm going to respond to it. I'm telling you, I am. But yes, please go over to HelloHoustonTexas.com. I'm sorry, Hello Houston organization on Google so you can leave a review. Our goal is to get up to 200 reviews on Google. It matters. It matters. It matters. Also, really, really quick, I want to tell you guys, Ken could not make it this morning, but he did give Hello Houston the access to come to the Vegan Vibe Winterfest. He hosts festivals all over the world. He now doing one here in Houston. He said he do want to apologize that he giving us this information. If you guys heard him on yesterday, he was here, but he giving us the information at the last minute. It will be this weekend for the festival, but it's something to do, right? So if you guys want to go, I'm gonna check it out. Let me know. We can go together or whatnot. If not, I'll go one deep and represent Hello Houston and support him. But yes, go check out. I put the link at the top. That's the Eventbrite itself. It's Vegan Vibes Winter Fest. Make sure you guys go check it out. If you have a second, just do me a favor, go check it out. All right, so let's see. Hugo, you want to tap in?
Hey, I came in late. Are we talking about sex? Now, if you don't know what I'm about, you're
Yeah.
probably not like Chris, who went to my great sex. I came out with a video. I posted this about a week ago. It's only 7 minutes on my YouTube. I'm going to post it here to IG here a little more this morning. Just a little bit of levity since you people seem to get a little bit serious about business conversations, how to talk to people. Look, you got to have some fun. You got to have fun in your personal life and business. Love, if you want friendship, if you want to connect, you want to build up your network, you got to know how to talk to people. And the first way to know how to talk to people is know how to know who you are. And then it's like, well, then you got to know what your triggers are. You got to know what, get some help there. Otherwise, yeah. Well, I'll tell you one great book. I'll tell you a book that I thoroughly enjoyed about this topic. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's an old book, but it's so influential on how to deal with people and to get what you want out of life. Because we all want friends, and and I assume when we talk about influence people is we're trying to actually, like close the deal, make some money, to do both. And then the last thing is I did make a review. I went to the Google thing. I made a Houston yesterday. There is actually a system. The way I searched Google is I guess you had to go to Google Maps. I had to go to Google Maps, and then I pulled it up, and then I was able to find the other review, Ken, Tony, and I added my own Life is Wonderful review. So yes, everyone else who's in this room, go to Google and make a review. Andy made a simple request. Just do it. It's free. Just takes about 2 minutes of your time. All right. Hopefully everyone day.
And Hugo, I got the notification from Spotify about your podcast that come out the other day. I got the notification yesterday, and I listened to it. So, yeah, no.
I just did my Google review as well. So all y'all have to do is you just go to google.com and then I just searched Hello Houston, Texas. And then the first search result that comes up is the Hello Houston, Texas website. And then if you look down, you'll see the Google instance and you'll see the map. And then you hit the Hello Houston like organization one. And then I left my review there. So, and you don't, I think you may have to be logged into Google. I don't know. I have Gmail. But I put the 5 stars and then I actually put something. I guess you don't have to write anything if you don't want to, but I did. I mean, you could just write something nice, and that's it. And then you just hit submit and it should send it over. So,
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Who's next? Rhonda, you with us?
Hey Tony, good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Respectful business conversations. How do we have them? You want to tap in?
Ooh, yes. I kind of agree with most everybody, especially I think that was CC that was speaking earlier um, on certain things. Yes, as far as the respectful business conversations, you just gotta know how to handle them or know how to stop it when it goes to a certain point. And again, some people come in and we have the respectful conversations, and then after that, it can kind of go to too many what they call well, like right now. What I'm going through, I get those phone calls from just different people that I do classes with. You know, I have to literally cut my phone off because after I give you the class, I give you all the steps you need to make, but at the end you'll keep calling and calling and calling and you wanting more because if you take this particular class, you're calling me about something else that you haven't taken. So, and then I look like on my Instagrams or any other social media and I see that you are doing the same things with other people. So it kind of goes back to different conversations that I have heard on the panel this morning. So, um, it's just the respect about it, how to stop it at a certain point and when they started at a certain point. So that's how I look at things now. I guess I'm making sense.
You sound like something heavy on your heart. You need us to pull up? What's up? Let us know, girl.
No,
You ain't
it's
you my security. How you sound like somebody calling me? Hell no.
yeah,
What is
it's
wrong?
a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But again, hey, it's business. That's how I look at things now. It's business, and it's how we handle it as business. As a business owner too, like my network that I'm in is straight competition, especially now since COVID has hit. It's a lot of competition, and I'll make a post. I'll make a flyer. I throw up a flyer in a minute, and then I look around and I see 20 other flyers similar to the flyer that I just did, and I'm like, oh wow. Or if I get into a certain network, people come in, they listen, they. I mean, it's some snake in the grass stuff with business, and I'm learning this. So
Well, are
you
they
have to
here?
just
Tell them to come on the stage. Hello, how you doing? This is Hello
so
Houston.
so
Run as
you
our
in
security.
and you invite them. You get what I'm saying? You invite them to those groups that you're in, and they input all that, and they take it back, and they run around and they do something similar to what you have already said or the advice that you have already given. And me, the person that I am, I try to help as many people as I can, especially in my industry. I see you struggling, and if you call me, hey, I'm gonna give you some advice, but you got to get out there and you got to get it yourself too. I can't just give you everything and you not working hard to do the same thing as I have done. So again, it's just a respectful conversation. You give them so much, and you have to end it. I mean,
Okay, so
and
whoever
And the
on the
downside to
stage,
that, I was like that too. People, if you keep on giving and giving and giving, people have that expectation that you're always supposed to give, right? If you help this person, they feel like they have a sense of entitlement to your time, your energy, your space, and all these things because you helping them because we want to help everybody. I did nip the situation in the bud. I got off Clubhouse and I stopped doing stuff. Period. So I didn't even have that. that problem because I know my attitude and how certain people, and I know where they coming from, and the reason why, and I don't want to deal with it, and they don't want to face the facts of what's really going on and get out of their own way. So I rather just not say anything at all. That's why my picture say what it say. I'm not about to argue with nobody about what you think you know. If you know it, baby, you know it. And I'm going to deal with more like-minded people. That's what I had to learn about business. Some people you're not going to even, I don't care who it is, you're not going to be able to have an intelligent conversation with them anyway. They're going to tell you what their great uncle, aunt, three times removed, and everybody else in the world said. If their opinion matter to you, and my question be, so what is it that you want from me? How is it that I can help you? And then they can't tell you, and I'll be pretty much done. So I'm like, look, I keep on attracting these people, and it cannot be these people. It's something that's within me. So I'm just gonna shut up. And so I stopped getting on Clubhouse. I stopped holding rooms. I stopped doing everything.
She ain't lying. I was like, CC, you all right? Like, I'm looking at the post. I'm responding to the post. Look, it's gonna be all right. Don't do it. Nah, it's cool though. Look, I want to say this though. We all go through things where we come to the point where we feel like we're being used. We all come to the point where we feel like we're giving more than the people are receiving, and as more other people are actually doing what we feel is right or what we feel like they should know at that time. I'm here to tell you that it's okay to scream, it's okay to cry, it's okay to wonder, it's okay to question if you're doing the right thing. It is okay. As y'all can see pinned at the top, I see I got Hugo thing up there. His YouTube, his his daily affirmation is life is wonderful. We got to remember this is life. We ain't go, this is not something new. It's something new to us, but it's not something new to the universe. You just have to understand at that moment that hey, it's okay to be in that position, but what do I do next? And not bash yourself to feel like that you're not doing enough. Not bash yourself to feel like, you know what, I'm just being used. And these people, you got to stop. You got to stop in your tracks right then and there and just figure out, how do I remove myself from this emotion and now be open to do something different? And when I say something different, that don't mean you got to shut down your whole company. That don't mean you got to start cutting off people because this person acting like this. And you got to get out of the space that you in, the head space. And the way you get out of that space, God damn it, close your eyes and count to 5. Not 10, not 20, not 30. Count to 5, because all you need to do is breathe. Breathe. Understand what happened in the past, you can't change it. What's going on today can be stressful, but you can change that. But what's coming in the future, set yourself up so you now can weed out the things that bother you. Life is supposed to be peaceful, not bothering. Business is no, I don't know who the hell said entrepreneurship was gonna be easy, but I'm here to tell you this shit is not easy, and it's not for the weak. It's not for the person who said I got a product or a service. It's for the person who actually sit down and look at what do they need to do to move forward. And it's okay. It's okay not to know. This is why you're around people who know. And whether they know it in deep detail or whether they know a little bit about it, you're in the present. So receive what you want to receive and take that and say, okay, I'm going to move with that piece. You don't have to take the whole conversation and say, okay, I'm going to listen to step 1, step 2, step 3. Use what you can use at that time. And when you want more, receive more. But stop asking for what you want. And then when it comes, you mad because it did not pan out the way you wanted. People, and I'm going to say people keep saying, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. But do you want these millionaire problems? Do you want to face where you got to have products and services already put together? You want this money, you want this lifestyle, but are you really ready for that? Are you ready for the stressful days? All this, oh, I get up at 3 a.m. and I grind it out. Listen, you cause the stress on your damn self. You need to sleep. You need to rest.
You need to be healthy. Drink some goddamn water. You need to actually understand. No, yeah, don't go drink liquor, drink water, okay? There's a lot of sugar in water. But anywho, my point is we ask for a lot of things that we're not ready for. What comes along with those things that we're asking for, far as challenges, far as the people, the energy. And once we receive it, sometimes we don't even know what to do with it, right? Y'all know my story with Hello Houston. I ain't gotta go back and forth with nobody. I move forward. I had to deal with the emotions. I had to deal with the people. I had to deal with everyone saying what's coming in. But I'm okay with that because I'm built for this shit. At one point in time, I was ready to pull up. Like, yo, you, what's up? But we gotta understand that ain't for you. When it's time to level up, you're gonna go through every emotion that you have. You're gonna go through all six senses. You're gonna feel it, you gonna hear it, you gonna taste it. All that, you gonna all that. But you got to also understand this is a lesson. For you to get that next blessing, this is the lesson that you got to go through. It's going to look ugly. Your account is going to be, your account is going to hit zero a couple of times. I don't know why people feel like after you make it to a certain place that it's not, you can't lose it tomorrow. You can. But when you lose it, what do you do at that point in time? Do you go back and say, you know what, I want to go back to security. I need this wife. I need this husband. I need somebody, my business bestie. Do you, or do you need yourself? Because at the end of the day, no matter what program you go through, webinar you go through, organization you with, no matter what, you are you. Either you gonna be lazy or you gonna get up and keep going. Either you gonna get around the people who gonna push you, or you gonna be in your emotions and, oh, they acting like this. I don't want to. Man, look, nobody cares. Nobody cares at all. Nobody care when you're doing good. Nobody care when you're doing bad. But you are your best friend. You are your star player. So how do you move forward? You gotta have business conversations with yourself before you can have a business conversation with somebody else. That was good. I'm gonna have to write that down.
Ooh, child, preach, preach, preach,
I just,
preach. Yes,
man,
ma'am.
I mean, I don't want to, throw anything off. I don't want anyone to feel any type of way. I just want it to be a news flash that the topic for today is respectful business conversations. Things get ugly. You fall out with people. You gain new people. When you remove things out of your life, trust and believe. You're not removing it for sanity. You're removing it and knowing that more is coming in. It's snakes everywhere. It's people that's stealing everywhere. Hell, you steal your damn self. Period. Whether you want to admit it or not. You go on Google and take some of the information and make it into your own. You go on YouTube, take the information and make it on your own. You're stealing. Yeah, you stealing. Also, it don't matter because it's how do you present it for yourself? How do you rely? How do you give it out to anyone else that's asking for the information? And be okay to say I don't know. Be okay to say I'm not in around to give you that type of information, but I know the other person that can. And don't worry about whoever you referring this person to, that person do their job, because that's what you know. This is why a lawyer tell you, oh no, I only can give you this information, that information from my expertise. Until I represent you, I cannot say that this is thick, this is glue, right? So you got to be ready to say that for yourself too. Are you ready to claim yourself as a coach, mentor, or give out the products and services that you giving? And don't let nobody rush your damn process because it's on you. I need $25,000 right now to host a conference. Who gonna give me 25,000? Anybody want to answer? No, I'll speak at once. You can come out the audience. Who gonna give me this 25,000?
I guess I
I'll
have only.
help you get it.
For
You
what?
see what I'm saying? But
20.
but I'm saying that to say, y'all, you will have some people that's gonna say, you know what, how can I help? Right? You gonna have some people that say, I'm rocking with you, what do I need to do? And you gotta take that and make it into what you need it to be. You cannot think that somebody is going to just hand you everything that you want, because they not. But you got to be ready. That's all I'm saying. That's the whole conversation of today. If you say you want something and you ready to have business conversations, then cool. Be ready for whatever outcome that comes along with it, and be okay with what you receive. Stop looking at tangible money because you gave it to someone or you invested in someone and it did not happen. It is okay. They print money every single day. There's over 1 trillion people in this world, period. You have good debt, you have bad debt, and you got to understand however you invested it, that's a lesson. So whether you make some money or not, that's fine, but you got to be strategic on life, period. So it's 8:37 and I gotta go. That's it. That's all for me. I see Joe just popped up. You want to add something to it, Joe? You got that 25?
Well, I was gonna
No.
say we can collaborate, and I can help you make 25. Uh,
That's what I'm talking about.
I what I need. You could if you can help me get 25,000 new single bar soap subscriptions. I'll give you $50,000.
If I get you 25,000, you said
Yeah,
I have to give you 25,000 subscriptions, and subscriptions include what exactly? Are you saying emails to
single
those
bar.
subscriptions?
No. I'm just saying. Look, just like you, right? We have to be prepared, and I've always said like if I could just build single bar soap subscriptions. I do soap, right? We're a
Uh huh.
small veteran. Actually, really, it's me making soap in my kitchen. But man, I'm ready to scale this up because the whole project was a transitional work program for veterans, and
Mhm.
I realized that the last couple of weeks I've been feeling that imposter syndrome of an entrepreneur, and what I
Mhm.
that I've been trying to like work on a soap company, right? Like build this company myself and do that. But it's not a soap company, it's a transitional work program for veterans. And when I
Mhm.
recognized that I am the only one making soap and selling soap for this project, it's no longer a transitional work program. It's a sole proprietorship of me making and selling.
Correct.
And that's not aligned with my passion and mission. And this last week, when I started to align that passion and say, hey, you know what? I need to get veterans to make soap. But to do that, I got to sell more subscriptions. But at the same time, like, what's going to come first? Do I need to get veterans to help me make? And I think that's where I'm at, right? Like, is I got to figure out, let me front load and get 5 or 6 other guys to start making this with me so that I'm actually doing what this whole project really is and not just me making soap, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So,
It
yeah, so
definitely makes sense.
yeah, so like what I decided to do is these next 2 days, some another veteran kind of gave me some great advice. He says when you feel stuck, spend 2 days and just pursue leads, because when you generate revenue, no matter where you are in your business, it makes you feel accomplished. So that's what I'm doing. I thought I would throw that out there for everybody here because I'm in Houston, you guys are in Houston, and I've been really wanting to collaborate more with people in Houston. So I'm throwing it out there, the universe. Look me up, ping me if you guys want to collaborate and help me kind of generate more of this. I'd love to do that with anybody here. So reach out anytime you guys want. And Andy, like if I could help you get that 25,000, man, I'm on board. We'll figure it out together.
All
Right?
right. Are you a
That's
Hello Houston member?
yes. I joined the club. You know what? I want to do that. I got to look more research. I went on your site and I checked it out.
Mhm.
And I think it's pretty awesome what you guys are doing. So yeah, no, that's a perfect step. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be the first step. Be a part of the organization. I support whoever support what we got going on. Hello Houston is not one
Right?
person. Hello Houston is a true organization, and I mean, the way you're saying that you need this help. I mean, Hello Houston is about volunteering, and we do have vets that's a part of Hello Houston, right? So not only that, we're filled with active business owners who actively are working on projects with other companies, right? So, prime example, Joni. Joni has a candle company. You have a soap company, right?
Yeah.
Both of y'all need to do the same thing. So it's, I mean, the search
Hey,
is not going to go find the people, find the leads. It's usually right next to
yeah.
you. So if you're a part of it, then that's where those ideas start happening. You say you need to help with making the soap. Well, if you're a part of the organization itself, we sit down and see exactly what you need to do because it's a organization. How can we help each other? But not only that, you have to look at what's the positioning. Are you just trying to get the help with making the soap? Okay, well, let's set up some shops and help you make the soap. Or are you trying to really grow the company and get where you need to go? Well, that's the part of the district. Hello Houston has a business district where we guide other individuals that's coming into Houston to know that we're the Houston hub of what you're getting ready to do with other business owners. If you need a co-working space, we have that available. If you need to go out into the community and do your own volunteer work for all of us to wear a shirt, we can do that. If you need to go sit in City Hall, we can do that. If you need to go just post up on the street, we can do that, right? So we
Yeah.
have training, we have mentorship, we have involvement in the community. It's not the impact, it's not the all that extra influence. We don't do all that. We actually put in the work. So whenever you're ready,
Oh, I
let
love
us know.
I love that. You know, Andy, because in the end, right, it's action that's going to make it's actually taking the steps. It's doing the due diligence and beating the streets that what makes is what's going to make everybody successful, right? Like, it's funny. I was sharing this the other day. Somebody was all these. I've been on Clubhouse since January of 2020, right? Like everybody got shut in, and then I got on here, and I've kind of run the gamut on coaches and programs of self-help. And you know what I notice, Andy, is every one of them, it's similar to people when they say they have the answer to growing wealth and finances, right? Like everybody's got like, oh, this is the best thing, you've never heard of anything like this.
Is it just me or
What
Joe dropped
happened?
off?
Yeah, it looks like
Joe?
his mic's still on.
It's the hard work that you put in is what's going to make you successful. So absolutely love this room. I love what you're doing, Andy, and I'm so glad I got to get in and say a few words with you guys. This is
I got one question.
Hola,
I
Gustón.
got one question, Joe. Joe, tell me about your soaps. I mean, is there something else? What's so particular about? What's special about your soap? Tell me about it, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
There you
sorry,
go.
Tony. I'm about to start driving with my oldest, but basically it's a handmade premium soap. We don't have any dyes, no sulfates, no perfumes. It's all it's a glycerin based, so it's all natural glycerin based. Uh, fresh for the two formulas we have. We just formulated a hemp based soap, and I'm
Sounds like
hemp,
Joe might be
lavender, and
transitioning.
java. Um, and then the other one is a goat's milk base, and we add a for the exfoliator in that we add like food grade shredded coconut, and then essential oils only. So there's no perfumes, no dyes. It's made by hand here. So yeah, I mean, and for every bar we sell, we don't red
You
bar.
going, you going, you going in and out of. Hey, Joe, is hemp in all of your soaps or no? Can you hear me, Joe?
Joe's in the Matrix right
We'll
now,
come back to you,
but I
Joe.
think he
What's
said that.
happening?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
good, good.
y'all,
I can't have that.
this has been amazing, but I actually gotta go
Okay.
to talk to these people about this vision board party. So thank y'all, appreciate y'all. I'll catch you guys on tomorrow. Respectfully, like I always tell you guys, make sure you make somebody smile and be prosperous within your day. Bye, y'all. No. I think Natalie, where's she at? I thought
Oh
y'all was
yeah,
gonna keep talking.
she just dumped off. Maybe let me see if I can find her right quick.
Well, she ducked off. She probably thought we were
Uh,
closing the room, but I'm out too. I'm at work. Bye, y'all.
there
All
she
right,
go.
y'all.
There
Yeah, I'm
she
about to be
go.
out too.
All right. Well, Let me see. Hey, well, Joe may be busy. Rhonda, there she is. Natalie,
Hey Tony, how are you?
what's happening? What's happening? I want to get you in before we close the room. You've been in here with us.
Oh, it's okay. I was listening to you guys the whole time. I heard Andy wrapping up, so I figured the room was closing. Good morning, everyone.
Good.
Um, what did you want me to add something?
Yeah, respectful business conversations, what we were originally talking about. So yeah, you want to add something to the conversation here? We've
Oh
always
yeah,
added
sure.
value, so
I appreciate you, Tony. Thank you. Well, for me, respect comes first. Hugo said this a while ago. By the way, Hugo, I was trying to find your channel on YouTube because going through the link is asking me for some logins, and I have too many logins for YouTube. So I was trying to find a directly from YouTube. So if you can back channel me, what I should search for. But yeah, what Hugo said, I agree with. A lot of people need to really read that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Thank you, Tony. I got the link you sent. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think a lot of people are hurt and trying to build business without healing some of their childhood wounds. I coach a lot of business leaders, I coach coaches, mentors, and I can tell you a lot of people are getting into the coaching game because it's what you call a low barrier to entry, right? In insurance, at least you can go through and you get your certification. But and in coaching, some people get in certification, but there's no proof that a lot of these people actually have the results that they're selling, or even if they don't have the results, because Michael Jordan's coach Phil Jackson, he wasn't a basketball player, but he was a damn good coach. So he had proof that he had taken people to the results that he was there coaching on, right? And I think a lot of people neither have the proof of doing it before or doing it for themselves, and also have a lot of childhood wounds that are not healed. And so money doesn't solve all problems, right? And a lot of people's goal is money, and they're going to the money, but they don't understand that on the way to the money, or even when you get the money, you're going to have so many challenges that's going to bring out who you really are. And you meet people a lot of the times and they're just your mirror, or they're what my spiritual mother would call your sandpaper. And it's the sandpaper to help to deal with delivering you from a lot of the issues that you have. And most people don't want to hear that, right? And so they want to say it's the other person that's rude. Give you a quick example. I had a client who I've had a client from years before, and his wife just started coaching with me as well. So I'm coaching both the husband and the wife. And she came on the coaching call with him, and she was resistant to the coaching. And we didn't even get into anything. And she's like, "Well, how is this going to be different? Because we've signed up, with a lot of money before, and I just feel like it just the same thing, and I'm not seeing what the results are." I said, "Okay." So I explained the process to her, but I knew explaining the process wouldn't help because the resistance had nothing to do with the program. It had to do with something deeper. And as a coach, because I've dealt with my own stuff, I did not feel triggered by her. I was not offended by her. I was not bothered by her. I knew that I needed to hold space for her. Long story short, at the end of our session, we uncovered so many things that were buried for 9 years. Beautiful couple. They've accomplished a lot individually, but they were not unified on the front, right? They were doing their own separate thing. And so we uncovered so many things. There was so much healing that happened out of that. I'm their business coach, but there was so much healing that happened in that session, even though they came to me about business. And what him and his wife said to me was that, well, first she said, "Natalie, I just want to thank you because the way I dealt with you starting on the call," she said, "I first of all would have just DM'd my husband and refunded him his money. But you stayed here and you listened and you held space and you weren't offended. You didn't take offense and you guided us through." And he called me after the call was done, and he said, "You don't even know what you just did for us." And he said, "I want to thank you for not being like every other coach." So when people come to us, they're not looking for what everybody else is doing. Anybody can go on YouTube and watch some videos. Anybody can read a book. Anybody can study stuff. But what do you bring? that's going to heal, impact, transform, and change somebody's life. That when that marriage gets more powerful, that now they can impact thousands of people. It can't always be about money. So that's just my 2 cents.
Dang, Natalie, and that kind of went right around to the. You got a full circle back to Hugo's video topic. You know, you check it out when you get a chance, okay? Uh, but wow, but because you didn't get triggered though, when you felt the resistance from her, you know that it essentially turned out to be sort of like a marriage counseling at the same time, right? Uh,
Well, because here's the thing, mindset is mindset, right? So the same mindset that helps with the money is the same mindset that helps with the marriage, the same mindset that helps with your health. All the health issues that a lot of people have is from the hurt and the trauma that's unhealed. So a lot of times people come to me for business coaching. I go straight to the mind first, because show me your mind, then I'll show you your money. And then once we tweak a few things, I'll be able to see the ripple effect of your money. But a lot of people want to go straight to the strategy and the tactics, and there are other coaches that can do that, right? I am in the top 1% in the country when it comes to strategy, and that's because I come from a Wall Street background and how I was trained and the deals that I've worked on. And I can tell you off the bat, just even being in this room, right? My gift of discernment, just like a lot of other people, uh, I get shifted sometimes, even in this room and in other rooms. I feel it, right? But do I take offense? No, because it's not personal. Nobody on here knows me personally, right? There are times when I'm speaking and I can tell, right, based on the comment afterwards or the back channel, that people might not take a liking to the way I sound or the way I speak or whatever. But guess what? I don't think that's personal. A lot of time people are responding from some other hurt, other trauma, other perception, and that has nothing to do with me personally. All I have to do every day is take personal responsibility for my own energy, my own actions, my own words, and how I choose my time. And so that's why I'm very selective of when I go into room. I'm selective about not asking to go on people's stage. If I'm not paying to a stage or pulled to a stage, sometimes I just don't go, because understand that if you are not honored, even if you had the best gems in the world, it makes no sense you share your pearls, because at the end of the day, and this is not to call anybody swine, but the spirit, the swine spirit, will never be able to accept your pearls, and that energy will flow into your day, into your business. So we got to be careful where we go, where we share, because if you're not respected or honored, it's no point keep going there. If that see you as someone of value, don't go there. So if somebody don't ask me, I listen, I support, but then also you got to be careful where you're supporting as well, because all support is not equal. Some people respect people, and some people just they like your presence because of what it does, but they don't respect you or honor you. So you have to understand that. And again, how you treat person is a reflection of you, not a reflection of them. So if someone doesn't honor me, I'm not going to dishonor them, because I walk in honor and I understand the energy that honor brings. So I will never dishonor or disrespect someone based on their dishonor or disrespect, because that's a reflection of them, not a reflection of me.
and that's a great way to close out the room today. I appreciate you, Natalie, for coming through. Listen, every time I see you, I get a little extra pep in my step. You know, uh, listen, always. I don't know how I don't know where I first found you at in these clubhouse streets or whatever, but I think G5 was following you at some point or on something too with Instagram or whatever. But yeah, listen, glad that I found you, no doubt. Always appreciate it. Love to see you. And like I say, when I see you pop up and I get an alert that you opened the room, I try to definitely get over there and participate, even if just to listen because of where I am or something. So thank you, and I appreciate you for
The
coming
respect
through.
is mutual. The respect is mutual to you and Mr. Brown. I've always, you can tell when someone authentically appreciates you. And let me tell you something, it makes all the difference, because I don't need to prove that, right? Are just obvious. And I quiet my ego daily, because it is God. As Ecclesiastic says, everything is meaningless. At one point, all of us are going to end up in the same size box. in the same dirt, right? So all of it is meaningless. So if we're not here improving and being good people, and how can we honor? That's why I love what Hugo said. How can we share more love and kindness? Because all of this stuff is just ego trip, and who ego is about edging God out. We don't need to.
No doubt. I feel you. Definitely agree. All right, folks. Listen, it's going up on 9 o'clock. We're knocking on the door. Mr. Brown, you got in the last minute? You got anything in closing?
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate Natalie speaking. I like listening to her speak. I don't know what people say about how you speak, Natalie. I love it. Like it, I do. I'm sorry, I'm weird like that. I love the English language. But anyway, what's up, Reggie? You gotta holler at Reggie, man. Reggie be chilling in the background, but he's an effective member in Hello Houston. And nah, man, I just wanted to appreciate the space. Like you know me, I'm always here to be supportive, but I believe we do need to be more vocal and direct about our ask and intentional about who we're supporting and how we're going about supporting them. Not understanding not everybody has expendable money or extra money or money weekly or bi-weekly pay. Some people get paid every month. Some people get paid once a quarter. Some people are contracted, get once a year checks. They have to budget all year. But ideally, the ways you can support, be supportive. Um, you're the bag, life insurance for the living benefits, and that's it, bro.
All right. And hey, is there anybody in the audience want to come up? Got anything to say right quick? Anybody? Going once? Okay. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys sticking and staying with us, and we'll conclude this today's episode of Hello Houston here on Clubhouse, where the conversations being respectful business conversations. How do we have them? So, hopefully, something was said or expressed here on stage today to give everybody or anybody an advantage or an extra edge today, or maybe another few seconds of some patience with a potential client or so on and so forth. So, with that being said, y'all, I hope everybody has a great day, productive day. Either way, get out and enjoy the sunshine. It's shining somewhere, even if it ain't shining where you at right now. So if you can't see it through the clouds, just know it's out there. With that being said, later on, y'all. See you
Peace,
tomorrow.
bro.
Same place, same time.
Have a good one, guys.